So you just raised the point about donation reform, and I think that that's another point that I wanted to discuss. On your website, there you've got quite a few policies around that. Could you just walk anyone watching through the Australian Progressives' plan for reforming money in politics in that regard?
Yeah, sure. So I won't be able to give it to you verbatim because it's not the top of my mind, but effectively the idea is to remove money from politics. We know that it's a corrupting influence. We know that it's big business, all sorts of vested interests are funding both major political parties almost in equal measure to get the outcomes that they desire. So the end result is the concentration of economic and political power in the hands of fewer and fewer people, which is not a good outcome for democracy. So our ideas are basically centred around political donation reform to make it more of a publicly funded event, keeping vested interests out of politics and turning it into an appropriate democratic representation. The effect that we're after is that we want to ensure that people that want to be our representatives have to stand in front of people and argue the case on merit, and not simply rely on the huge donations that they get to go out and market on brand. That's the big thing. We want to break those brands down, the big two-party brands, which effectively people just vote along the lines of, and show people who the representatives are. If Craig Kelly, for instance, had to stand up in front of a crowd of people and argue the merits of different policies, I think very quickly the people in his electorate would realise what kind of person he is and wouldn't vote for the man. That's just one example, but there's plenty of them around the country. That's the other part of it, of I think what political donation reform which we're trying to achieve with it is remove that mediocrity. People that are able to just ride the coattails of their party's brand and get in and really damage our electoral process.